All right, we're going through slides 1 through 20 today. We're starting a new unit on prokaryotes. We talked about prokaryotes and prokaryotic organisms last year. Hopefully you'll remember. Prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are everywhere. All species of living things can be divided into two categories, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. This chapter is about prokaryotes, which are all microscopic and made up of only one small simple cell. In contrast, people are eukaryotes. They're larger and more complex and work together to form large structures like our bodies. This picture shows a eukaryote investigating a body of water that's full of prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are everywhere. I have no idea why that is shaded out there, but it is. Prokaryotes are the simplest living organisms. They are microscopic, but what they lack in size, they make up for in numbers. There are more prokaryotes in a handful of fertile soil than the number of people who have ever lived on Earth. They thrive almost everywhere. I don't know if I can, well, let me move that. Including places too acidic, too salty, too cold, too hot for organisms like us. They have astonishing diversity. Two types, bacteria and archaea. It's kind of like fungus. Bacteria are found on all surfaces in our environment. Some bacteria cause human disease. Archaea are less common in our environment. None are known to cause disease. They're often found in environments that are too extreme for people to live, places that have no oxygen, high-low pressure, high-low temperature, high-low pH. They're found in your gut, the bottom of the ocean, and in the Arctic and in geysers. Why we rely on bacteria? Often we think of bacteria as being primarily harmful. We think of them as germs. While there are some that are harmful, most have no effect on us, and some we even have to have. We depend on them. Bacteria cover all the external surfaces of our body. This includes our digestive tract, since it is also considered to be external. Bacteria on your body live in cooperation with you. Some types protect you against harmful bacteria and help you digest food. We evolved with these bacteria. We could not survive without them, and they could not survive without us. We rely on bacteria. In fact, a number of bacterial cells living on us is greater than the number of our own cells. Those bacteria have more unique genetic material than do our genes. Bacteria produce molecules that we need to be healthy. Newborn babies get these bacteria from their mothers so that their digestive systems can function. There are also bacteria in many food sources like yogurt and cheese. The bacteria on surfaces of your backpack, your bathroom, your phone, your keyboard are living samples of your unique combination of bacteria. Archaea were classified as bacteria until very recently. Now we know they are very different and more ancient than bacteria. Many are extremophiles. These are organisms that live in extreme environments where life had been considered impossible. They have been found living in locales that are very hot, very acidic, or very basic. Also in solutions with high salt, methane, or heavy metal concentrations. The first cells were definitely a prokaryote, but it was more like bacteria, or was it more like bacteria or archaea? Currently, scientists favor the hypothesis that the first living cells evolved near hydrothermal vents. We've talked about this. All living things have descended from archaea, and we are most closely related to archaea than we are to bacteria. Hypotheses about the origin of life are being modified all the time. A phylogenetic tree. What does the phylogenetic tree diagram tell us about the domain of life that humans are most related to? See what it's going to tell us. Humans are animals, and the phylogenetic tree diagram indicates that animals are a form of eukaryote, and eukaryotes evolved or branched off from Archie. The earliest living organisms were similar to C. All bacteria are harmful. False. Which of the following most likely contain the most bacteria? It took my letters away. Likely contain the most bacteria. A cup of swamp water. Which of the following ways do we rely on bacteria that line our digestive tract, our gut? A, B, C, D. A and C are correct. So they help us break down food, and they create antibiotics to destroy other harmful bacteria. And people are fairly familiar with abundant resources leading to abundant life. But have you ever thought about places where resources are not abundant, where life is a little harder and organisms have to come up with interesting ways to survive? Scientists have thought about these places because they represent life on the edge and the chance to learn more about all the possibilities of life. Caves are such places. Sunlight, the #1 energy source on our planet, isn't available to cave organisms. And we're going to stop there, and that's all for today. I'll get these on YouTube for you.